Hey everybody, this is a journal for Miss Shaina. This is her Christmas present. So if you're watching Shaina, you better already have this in your hand. I don't know if I trust her enough to put it up yet. Anyway, we were talking a while back and we both are avid readers, and she made some suggestions to me about books. I made some to her. And she said, we discovered that we both had read a lot of Stephen King. So she said, oh my gosh, I think we should do like a swap or something of a Stephen King themed book. And I said, well, to myself, you need something for an idea for Christmas for her, so there you go. So there's a lot of references to Stephen King in this book. Some are more overt than others. And on the front is a picture of a black house. And this cool trim I got for another project, but how cool is that? It's covered, it's several layers of scrap cardboard, and it's covered in coffee-dyed muslin. The red rose, that shows up in a lot of his books. There's the spine. It's about, I want to say 2 inches. Yep, 2 inches. And the back, there's some cool trim that Shaina herself gave me. And there's just some pictures of the covers of some of his books. Not all of them. And not all of his excuse me, writings are in here because I would have to do like 5 volumes. So we'll just kind of go through here. And what I did was I kind of imagined that this would be something that maybe he had, things that he would collect. What would he find inspiration from? So that was kind of what I went with here. And first of all, Dolly, thank you for the tutorial about how to build a hardcover, because it totally worked this time. So the very first page here, this is just some Tim Holtz paper, but it's the type, whatever you call it. I can't think of what you call it right now. Like a printing press kind of thing. And while I was going through my stash, because I don't think I bought anything, I think I had all of this stuff. On another piece of his paper, I just happened to see Deep in the Maine Woods, and a lot of his stories take place in Maine, and one in particular is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. She was lost in the woods. So that's why that's there. And there is space to write if Shaina so chooses. And this is some of that vellum Tim Holtz paper, and it's getting pretty big here. Birds, birds show up a lot in his writings as well, so that's why that's in there. And when we were in New Orleans, I went into a certain shop and their bags were really cool, and I said, oh my gosh, these are the best bags. And the lady was so nice, she gave me 2 or 3 of them. But they're the, the antique-y looking bags with like the newsprint on there. So this one says Book Agents, and excuse me, this one says Indelible Ink. So all of the pages are coffee dyed and or distressed in some way. And then this ink, I got this new brand of ink, and oh my gosh, it went everywhere. It stained my shirt and everything. But it looks really cool, so I went with it. And this kind of reminded me of Creep Show, the comic book in the back where you always... My lighting sucks. There we go. You send away for things. And you guys should all know, I got one of those down in Texas. Uncommon Objects. And again, when we were in New Orleans, I picked up a lot of you know, the pamphlets for tourists, and I chopped a bunch of them up, and I found these really strange words. So I just collaged them onto here. That's what that is. And here we have a mulberry tag behind here. And some music paper. I just thought that would be something that he would have. This is, it's a little homemade envelope, and I just put some stuff in there. These are personal pictures. Not necessarily part of the book, but I wanted to send her those. So there's that. There's some more of the pamphlet. And I left all the stringies on here for texture. Of course, she can chop those off. And to make that pocket, I found this on Pinterest, and she has a certain reason to like this word. But this is the show Haven, and if you watch that, there's a lot of references to his works on there. This is a page from an actual old teacher's grade book, and he taught school for quite a while. Mr. King did. And right here I wrote down some of his characters that happen to be teachers. I did a lot of writing in here myself. It's kind of funny, if you go online and Google Stephen King 19, there's all sorts of these strange fan theories about the number 19. It's kind of strange. Anyway, and here are just some writing spots. And this is part of a little tag. There's a little skeleton. Can we see? There it is. There's a little skeleton on there. And here is one of his quotes. The most important things are the hardest to say because words diminish them. So I put little quotes and things like that throughout. Shaina gave me this paper, and I was going to hoard it, but it works perfectly in here. And I made a little envelope here with some book page, and there's something in here. Oh, my hubby had gotten me this really cool book of antique postcards from Colorado, which is where I'm from. And so I went through, and this is one of the actual images from that book, and this is a picture of Long's Peak from the porch of the Stanley Hotel, which supposedly was his inspiration for The Shining. In that book is the Overlook Hotel. So Shaina's getting a cool little postcardy picture thing there. I backed that with coffee stained paper. This is actually some packaging that I made a little flip page out of. And down here it says, "Fiction is the truth inside the lie." I don't know if you can see that or not. And this is a giant card, and obviously it's King. And I stamped and did all kinds of stuff to it. Antiques, treasures, art, and need. And he wrote a book called Needful Things, and so that's what that kind of reminded me of. And then there's a little flip card back here. She can put some photos or whatever on. And in this little envelope, we have a teeny tiny set of handcuffs. And that is from Gerald's game. Oops. And I will probably forget some of the references that I have in here. So, diary. And this is kind of cool for me personally, just because my son is a huge baseball fan. These are all the years that the Red Sox have won the pennant. And Mr. King is a huge Red Sox fan. And he actually wrote a book about his fandom, I guess, and it's called Faithful. So that's what this page is dedicated to. And then there's just some scrap paper here and a card here. And this is kind of cool. It's one of those canvas tags, and I kind of inked it kind of spooky. And this cute little thing here comes out, and she can title it if she wishes right there. And just a little tag here. I used up all the scraps that I possibly could. There's a fold out. There's that ink. See how it just went everywhere? And it's an ink pad, for crying out loud. But, oh, it worked in here, so I'm not going to complain. And here's a little journal card. I believe that is Martha Stewart Halloween paper. And I did a little mini here. And this is a graphic 45, I believe. And this is one of the first things that I did was I cut out this word shining. And, you know, like I said, if this was his, he'd be writing little notes in here. So there's Danny and Wendy, John, and then he changes his mind. Nope, I'm going to go with Jack. Room 237 was the haunted room. So that's what that is. There's some more of that pretty vellum. And this is some paper that I embossed and backed. And this is one of the ones that's like super obvious, but she said this was one of her favorites. It's a bag, and it's full of bones. Bag of bones. So that is that. There's 3 signatures, and each signature is signified with this black cardstock here. And these are just some cool little tags here behind this writing spot. There's some more of the red rose. And there are these little tags. This is, I want to say, Bow Bunny paper. And this is Jeannie Carmichael, I want to say. I can't remember her name. But anyway, in real life, she's called the Queen of the B movies. In Mr. King's universe, in The Talisman, Lily Sawyer was an actress, and she was called Queen of the B movies. So that's what this sort of signifies. And like I said, I just used a bunch of paper out of my stash. Here's one of my tags that I decoupaged, collaged. Here again is the reference to some baseball. He's got The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, Blockade Billy, Faithful. He writes a lot about baseball. And just some writing tags. You can see where I kind of thought where some of this would be something interesting. Go then, there are other worlds than these. That is a quote that the little boy says in The Gunslinger. And inside there is a picture reminding us that we should all vote for Stilson. And that's from one of my absolute favorite books, The Dead Zone. And the movie for that was absolutely fabulous too. Christopher Walken, love him. Angie gave me this wonderful paper. It feels so good. There's a little typewriter. He was one of the first to take advantage of online books, and he wrote several installments of a book called The Plant. And years ago, you could buy that per installment and download it way back when. So that's what that's for. And again, just another one of those canvas tags. And this is from Angie as well. I just thought that was kind of cute. You know, like he would be sitting in a diner writing down ideas. I don't know. This is a great place to put photos or anything like that. There's just a neat little page there with some paper. And this cute little typewriter here. My hubby about a year ago gave me a really cute card, you know, an I love you kind of card, and this was on it. So you're getting a little piece of G here, Shaina. And then I just backed some more scraps again here. And, oh, Here's another quote. I've probably missed some of them. Either get busy living or get busy dying. And this is the Tommyknocker poem. Again, that's pretty obvious because he wrote that book, The Tommyknockers. And there's a little tag here. And there's a magnet here. And I have this old, really old, because Denver Brick and Pipe Company is no more. But it was a matchbook cover. So that was, I put in here for fire starter. Get it? Matches? What? So that's what that is. And here's another. This is not old by any means. I got this down in Louisiana, and it's just a creepy looking old oak tree. And I thought, you know, he'd probably like collect that. So that's why that's in there. And I cut up some more. There's a crow there. I cut up some more of the tourist pamphlets for Pet Cemetery there. And yes, it's spelled wrong. There's another one of my collage tags. And here is a multiplication. And I think I stole this from Shaina, actually, this idea. It's a multiplication, division flashcard like they use in school. And here's some more of that really cool paper that I got from that shop in New Orleans. This, G thought this was really cool. This is from Canvas Corp, and I'm sorry I can't be any more specific than that. But it's a banner. It's canvas, and it's called As the Crow Flies. And when you lift it up, there's a writing spot and a little tag that I made back here. But it's because it's a banner, there's a hole in here. So I made holes and with eyelets and just attached it that way in the book. Here is something that she can color. It's a dream catcher. Here's some more little tuck spots. Here's some more of that grading book paper. And I made this envelope out of Tim Holtz paper, and on the front it says Curiosity. And it's kind of cool because on the opposite side there's fancy lettering. And tucked inside, first of all, we have everything goes away like the moon. Everything comes back like the moon. It's werewolf hair. Yeah, I said that. It's not really werewolf hair, but you know. Wolves. There's several references I can think of for wolves in his writing as well. So I'll tuck that back in there later. Here's some more embossed paper. This kind of reminded me of Florida. I don't know if it is, but that's what it reminds me of, is Florida. And that's where he set his story Doomakey. So that's what that's for. And he has a story about a haunted camera, so that's why the cameras are in there. And these are some more of those images from that postcard book. And this is Pearl Street in Boulder, and in The Stand, the good guys, all met in Boulder. So that's what that is. This is some more of that fabulous paper that Angie gave me. And I put some more birds on there, of course. And that's one of the pamphlets that I got in, well, part of it, in New Orleans on my latest trip. There's just a card there. I love this. I think it's Echo Park, but it was like an eye chart paper. And if you were anything like me, you went to see this in the movies. It's a 1958 Plymouth Fury, and that is Christine. The movie was so bad. Oh my gosh. But anyway. And there's another little tag, and there's the key for those handcuffs. And I think somebody wishes she had those. And this is a card deck that I also picked up in New Orleans. the Jazz Cannibals. I thought that was just hysterical. So I picked out the Queen, and I wrote Black Prom on there, and that is for Carrie because she was crowned Queen of the Prom. And he also wrote about a weird machine that came to life, so I circled concentrating machinery on that one. I don't know why. And here's some extra writing paper. And this was also some Tim Holtz paper. It's trains, and I thought of Charlie the Choo Choo and Blaine the Mono. That's what that's for. There's some more of that cool type. It's type something. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, and there's just an index card back here. And a little specimen card there. And oh, you guys don't laugh at me. I drew the worst dragon. Oh my gosh, I'm not an artist, okay? But anyway, that's my dragon for Eye of the Dragon. And I also put a quote here that says, "You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will." And Shaina, this is in pencil, so you can erase that bad dragon. And there's just a little tuck here. I wanted to do a little bit more, but I was kind of running out of room. That's the definition for remember. A lot of his stories have to do with memory. And there's another little tag there. And, oh, we were talking about these. I left these on for texture. And in the book Insomnia, the fates will cut your string when it's your time to go. And my friend April said, "Oh, those are really cool. They're like the tangents that Stephen King goes on when he writes his books. That's how come his books are so big, is because of all the tangents he goes on." So you could just, they're all of those things, right? And there's some more of his book covers. Oh, and there's Insomnia right there. And here's a little flip with a card inside there. I'll put that up later. And I work at a school, so I had one of my kids help me. And then this is what I came up with. It's a boat. The boat that Georgie loses when he meets it. So that's what that is. And it just tucks on the corner there. I'll take it off here. And it says SS Georgie, and that goes right on the corner, which, you know, then you can take it off if you want. And it holds this little card on this side that says forgive. So that's what that is. Here's another picture of the Stanley Hotel. Here's some more. Oh, this is an old receipt. Or statement, I should say. And then this is my little flip book here. This is accidents because he was in an accident. A van hit him, hit Stephen King. And also in Misery, the main title is, or the main character is in a car accident. And he wrote a story called From a Buick 8. So there's an 8. And that tucks there. And there's just a little card back here. And then this flips open. These are just little things that I thought he might collect. There's a little dictionary page with engrave on it. There's a little tag here. And then it also flips open this way. There's a little key. There's a little vellum tag. Just a little shipping tag. And here's a little envelope. And just so you will never forget who helped me with this, there's a little tiny tag. So there's an homage to April in your Stephen King book there, Shaina. And then Shaina herself sent me this cool napkin just as I was finishing this book up, and I said, oh my gosh, I totally need something for this page, and there it was. So I decoupaged that on there. And down here is also Tim Holtz paper, and I cut out the part that says amusement. So that is Shaina's Christmas present. And I'm going to cut this off now because it's already really long, but I hope you all like it. I hope she likes it because I had a lot of fun making this for her. And I hope she likes all of the wonderful texture that's in it. And I made it with love. All right, everybody, have a great day wherever you are. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.